Baseball night in America tonight in Cleveland for Game 2 of a 3-game weekend series as the Arizona Diamondbacks are in town to take on the Cleveland Guardians. Two teams trying to position themselves for the postseason as the penultimate month in baseball begins tonight on Fox. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Tom Verducci, I'm Kevin Kugler. On July 9th, the Arizona Diamondbacks 5.5 games out of the wild card. As of today, August 1, the Arizona Diamondbacks in sole possession of that second wild card. They're red hot.
The hottest team in the National League. Different story from last July. Last season, they had a bad July, and they sold off parts before the deadline. Now they're looking to add. This offense has been on fire, and it's not an offense predicated on power. It's more about being a great rally team led by hitters like Gabby Moreno, using the whole field, hitting the ball the other way. We saw that last night with a rally in the 8th inning. 6 consecutive D-backs got on base.
For the Guardians, who are still right in the thick of the playoff hunt as well, they'll try to slow down that lineup with one of the best young pitchers in baseball.
Absolutely. Parker Messick has the 3rd lowest ERA in the American League, the best of all rookie pitchers. And he has the best singular pitch in baseball. His four-seam fastball only at 94 miles an hour. Why? Because I call it Messick magic. It's the way he changes speeds and locates. You're going to see a really good young left-hander today.
Well, can Parker Messick pull the rabbit out of his hat tonight against this red-hot Diamondbacks team? We're about to find out. Arizona took Game 1. They'll try to win the series tonight as Cleveland looks to draw even. It's Arizona and Cleveland. Baseball night in America. First pitch coming up on Fox.
Feel good.
We were kind of holding our breath all day. Was this game going to get in? Was there going to be rain? Was there not going to be rain? Well, no rain. 77 degrees, very humid. Rain's coming at some point, but hopefully we'll be long off the air by that point. As you look at the Diamondbacks batting order, Corbin Carroll, Geraldo Perdomo, Gabriel Moreno, Ketel Marte, Nolan Arenado, Tim Tawa, Ildemaro Vargas, James McCann, and Ryan Waldschmidt winding up the 9 for the Diamondbacks tonight. We talked about it a moment ago, Tom Verducci. Parker Messick, his 22nd start of the year. He's just been outstanding.
Yeah, it just seems to be getting better deeper into this rookie season. Last 2 starts, no walks and 12 strikeouts. He is a premier strike thrower. I mentioned at the top his four-seam fastball. You see there at 37%. It's not an elite velocity pitch, but he's got great spin, works really well at the top of the zone, and that changeup is the equalizer against right-handed hitters. He's actually tougher against right-handers than the left because of that changeup.
Arizona this year has been very good against left-handers, 39-9 against left-handed pitching this year, second best in all of baseball. And that defense behind Parker Messick, David Fry, Stephen Kwan, and Angel Martinez from left to right in the outfield. Jose Ramirez, Rocchio, Travis Bazzana, Rhys Hoskins, and Austin Hedges behind the plate. He's become kind of the designated catcher for Parker Messick.
Yeah, why break it up? That's what Stephen Vogt's thinking was. He didn't go in thinking about wanting to have a catcher-pitcher tandem, but it's worked so well, he doesn't want to break it up. And he told me something really interesting, Kevin. He will not script a game at all. A lot of times pitchers go in, hey, I want to establish the fastball early, get the secondaries. He said, the only pitch I know we're going to throw is the first pitch of the game. After that, I'm reading what my pitcher has and how the hitters react.
We'll go off script here and get this one started with Corbin Carroll coming to the plate. A 13-game on-base streak entering tonight for the leadoff man for the Diamondbacks, and ball 1 inside gets us underway on Baseball Night in America. Two teams both in the playoff mix as of today. Diamondbacks in a very good position, having won their way into that second wild card spot. The Guardians right on the fringe in the wild card race, and of course still very much in their division race as well. 3 games back of the White Sox at the start of the day. 3 balls, no strikes on Carroll to start things off. Torey Lovullo in his 10th season watches his leadoff man take a 4-pitch walk to start off this ball game.
That is really uncharacteristic. of Parker Messick. His last 2 starts, I mentioned no walks. That was 51 batters faced. He's been taking the ball deep in the games because his command has been so good. And all those pitches, also all 4-seam fastballs. And neither one actually was that close. That is a very unusual start.
And now you face a guy in Geraldo Perdomo with one of the best eyes at the plate in Major League Baseball. Perdomo takes a strike. He's taken 68 free passes this year, second most in the National League. Hitting .231 on the season with 8 homers and 38 runs driven in. Carroll with 15 stolen bases at first. And a 1-1 count on Perdomo.
It's kind of an old school 1-2 combination at the top of the lineup. A leadoff hitter who can absolutely fly on the bases, and a number 2 hitter who puts the ball in play, doesn't strike out, uses the opposite side really well. You see the hole on the right side, inviting.
The 1-1 is high. We had a good conversation, though, with Torey Lovullo about hit and run. And this would be one of those circumstances where 15 years ago you would have thought, oh, hit and run's very much in order here.
That's really old school. Remember the hit and run? I don't do much anymore.
Well, he told us that he leaves it up to the player. He'll go to the player and ask, are you comfortable implementing a hit and run situation?
I found that fascinating. It was a lesson he learned from Tony La Russa. Like putting the play on when you think it's going to work, heavy ground ball pitcher on the mound, that's one thing, but the hitter has to buy in. Taking all the way right there. And he was saying that if you put the hit and run on and the hitter is not comfortable with it, no matter what the metrics say, it's probably not going to work. So he will check with his hitters before an at-bat. And when he does, it's first pitch.
The 3-2 pitch, no movement from Carroll, and there's right through that right side. The inviting hole on the right side, as Tom Verducci mentioned. And Geraldo Perdomo found it. The Diamondbacks with something brewing here in the first.
I mean, watch this swing. I mean, we're going to look at the team leaders right here, but he's able to adjust on that pitch and keep his hands back and hit it late as he traveled across the plate. He was exactly thinking the other way. And here's another guy more than adept at hitting the ball the other way.
And another one of our team leaders, sponsored by Clorox. You see what he's done leading this team, getting on base. 46 straight starts reaching base, and a good block by Hedges on the off speed in the dirt from Messick.
That was a great block. That thing was well in front of the plate, and he blocked it with that chest out, so it bounced straight down, keeping the runner off of third base with less than 2 outs. That's a huge block.
And another one out of the zone. Boy, Messick cannot find the compass in this first inning. 2 balls, no strikes on Gabby Moreno, with Carroll at second and Perdomo at first. And there's a strike, just the 4th he has thrown so far tonight in his 13 pitches.
They went to the sinker there, just kind of really emphasizing driving that ball down. The 4-seam misses have been generally up, arm side, not finishing.
2-1 lifted in the air, right side foul ground and out of play. One of the best 2-strike hitters in baseball at the plate. Gabriel Moreno, 53 hits with 2 strikes this season.
And what I love about it, it's an entirely different swing. Less than 2 strikes. He has a leg kick. You watch him here. Almost nothing on the lower half.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Parker Messick. Came with that fastball at 95, and Moreno is out number 1.
Yeah, that fastball plays much better when it's riding at the top of the zone. He actually had a good fastball to hit the pitch before, a fastball down the middle. With 2 strikes, felt he needed to chase that one.
So 2 on now, 1 out for Ketel Marte. And the off speed, that changeup from Messick, swung on and missed. Back with the fastball. Excellent start to the at-bat for Parker Messick here.
Yeah, that fastball, you see it. When most hitters miss it, they're underneath it. It just holds its plane more than they think. Now he can go even higher.
The 0-2 went way upstairs, a little too tall for Marte to bite. Hedges had to leap up to get that one, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, it's the right idea. When you saw the way Marte reacted to that previous fastball, you want to keep it above the hand, so you don't want to see if you can get a chase swing like you got Moreno, but that's just a non-competitive one. Doesn't mean you can't go back there.
The 1-2 pitch to Marte. Foul back our way and out of play.
Ketel Marte is so much better from this side of the plate, slugging almost 600 against lefties.
Swing and a miss. Chase the changeup. It's a pitch that Stephen Vogt told us Parker Messick has been trying to find again, and he's found it in this at-bat.
And honestly, Kevin, I was surprised when he told us that, because Parker's been so good, and he's got this high-low combo with the high-seam, four-seam fastball and that changeup. But you're right. He told us he really hasn't had the feel for that pitch lately. That was an excellent one.
So 2 down after the first 2-man reach, and here's Nolan Arenado.
Hey!
Takes the first pitch, a sinker for a strike. Arenado has really had a hard time finding the rhythm away from Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. At home this year, hitting .275, only .212 when he leaves the state of Arizona. And on the ground to the left side, should be out of the inning. Flip to second, and Rocchio finds the out at second to retire the side. Messick works out of trouble in the first.
For two people.
As you look at this Guardians lineup, it's a lineup that has really struggled to produce offense on a consistent basis. But right at the top is a guy who hasn't struggled at all over the last several weeks. Stephen Kwan is as hot as any hitter in baseball, Tom Verducci.
And I love the move by Stephen Vogt to move him back to that leadoff spot in the lineup. Doesn't matter if there's a lefty on the mound. He's been that good for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Cole Drake has the task of trying to keep the Guardians offense on ice. Just his 3rd start and only 9 innings pitched in his first 2.
Yeah, big lefty, 6'5". You see that four-seam fastball. It looks like he throws hard. He really doesn't. You're going to see 92, 93. The curveball as a first pitch weapon has to be in play for him.
And the first pitch to Stephen Kwan is a strike. Since the All-Star break, you see the numbers for the season. But since the break, hitting .417, his on-base percentage .482. And the way he's going, Stephen Vogt said you can't sit him lower in the lineup against the left-hander. We've got to have him at the top to set the table right now.
Yeah, the way he's going right now is using the whole field. You see, you play him pretty much straight up, but the other way to the left side is where he loves to go deep in counts.
2-1. See him watching the pitch into the glove. He has swung and missed just 9 times since the All-Star break. Swung and missed, not struck out. Swung and missed. The 2-1 lifted in the air foul, and it's 2-2 on Stephen Kwan.
He's got an interesting way of hitting. Nobody hits with their feet together as closely as he does, but somehow he's always on balance without drift. Now he sees as many fastballs as just about any hitter in the big leagues. Why? Because they don't fear power from him. But you know what? He's a really good fastball hitter.
And he slaps that one into center field for a leadoff base hit. Continuing his absolute scorching last month. July was good. Kwan's perfect so far in August.
And right on cue. You want to throw him 5 straight fastballs? He's going to beat you at some point. Maybe not out of the park, but again, pitchers just love to challenge him with heaters because they think you don't have to worry about the extra base hit, but now you've got to worry about the leadoff man on.
And now you've got to worry about Jose Ramirez, who since coming back from the injured list as he takes a strike has not been able to find the rhythm. But if you're young Cole Drake, you don't want it to be tonight that this incredibly talented hitter finally starts to shake off the rust. Just over a month with a fracture of the left hamate bone. Just .212 in 8 games with 2 runs driven in since his return. Turned on that one and jacked it foul. 1-2.
I mean, you're seeing 2 of the best pull hitters in baseball in this game today. Nolan Arenado and Jose Ramirez. They just love to catch the ball out front. Even if you try to pitch him away, which most pitchers try to do, he's still so strong, he can pull it with power.
Two balls, two strikes to Ramirez. Stephen Vogt, two-time American League Manager of the Year. We caught him earlier today talking with him. He says, oh, you know, way back when I played. I stopped him and said, you retired in 2022. He goes, well, the game's completely different from when I played to now. And he's not wrong about that. It has really changed. And he was talking about the pitchers like a Cole Drake that you see on the mound, these young guys that just come onto the scene and have ridiculously good stuff.
And they can all come in now with 6 or 7 pitches. That's the biggest difference. And he's absolutely right. It is a different game being played today than it was 5 years ago. It sounds crazy, but it's true.
Pitch clock, a big part of that as well. The 2-2. High and tight. 3-2 to Ramirez.
I would expect Quan to be running right here. You would really think that you're going to get a ball in play.
No movement at first. Ramirez puts it in play to left. Walshman on the run will make the catch. And there's one gone in the Guardians' half of inning number 1.
Yeah, the reason I thought, Kevin, at start of runner here, the way the Guardians have been struggling offensively, you know, you want to be aggressive early in the game. Establish a tone here. They're very comfortable playing close, low-scoring games, but on the wrong side of those too many times lately.
Chase DeLauder at the plate. DeLauder has really developed into one of the best rookie hitters in the game in a season in which we've seen a lot of really good rookie performances. 6th among rookies in hits, 7th in extra base hits, 8th in total bases. And DeLauder looks at a strike from Drake.
Yeah, I really like his approach at the plate. First of all, he's misnamed because he doesn't chase.
No.
I mean, especially for a young hitter, but for any hitter. You see his numbers there among AL rookies. He's got a very flat stroke, short to the ball, stays inside the ball well.
And you heard perhaps as he came up to the plate, his walk-up song is Country Roads, the West Virginia native, leaning into what became the hottest song in America over the last couple of months, it seems. On the ground and up the middle. Slow hopper to second for one, trying to turn 2, and DeLauder beats it out. When it took that second hop, it was going to be awfully difficult to turn 2, and DeLauder's at first with 2 gone.
Yeah, that's where communication among the infielders really helps. You saw Perdomo breaking toward the ball in the bag as well. And Forte says, I got it. It's the best he could do to try to even make that close.
So 2 down now, and Rhys Hoskins. See the numbers on the year for the veteran. 176 average, 11 homers, 34 runs driven in. Signed a minor league deal with the Guardians this year. Made the roster out of spring training on opening day, but has just had a hard time getting into the groove this year with Cleveland, and that's been sort of a story with the offense as a whole for these Guardians.
And he's such a big player for them. He's a rare right-handed power hitter. A lot of switch hitters, left-handers, but the ability to change a game, that's why Rhys Hoskins is here. Now, he hasn't been hitting a ton of home runs, but I tell you one thing that hasn't changed, his plate discipline. He's still taking his walks, giving good at-bats.
1 for his last 15 at the plate. Puts a charge into this one, hit deep to left center field. Everybody will watch that one leave. Hoskins with his 12th of the year, and a 2-0 Guardians lead.
absolutely scorched. You know, you mentioned that 1 for 15. That one was a bullet off the wall in left field last night. And that's a great swing because he tends to get out too quickly. He gets a lot of foul home runs down the left field line. This one he let travel just enough to get it on the barrel, still out in front of the plate to drive it well out of the park. What a shot.
424 feet. And Rhys Hoskins providing exactly what Cleveland needs, that right-handed power.
Doesn't he look good in the Guardians helmet too?
He looks tremendous.
I mean,
it's a perfect fit. You and I could not pull that off,
no,
but Rhys Hoskins can.
Yeah, he had the facial hair. I mean, it brought me right back to Monty Python.
Maybe more than a flesh wound for the Arizona Diamondbacks, a 2-0 Guardians lead. And that's big news for Cleveland to score runs and to score them early. Last 9 games, only 2.6 runs per game for Cleveland. The 1-1. Now 1-2 on Martinez.
It was interesting just reading lips there in the dugout there. You saw it because obviously they've never faced Zach before or Cole before, and they're talking about how the ball's coming out of his hand. So, you know, you can look at all the video you want before the game, even get on the trajectory machine, but it's the guys who first see that a new pitcher in the box for the first time come back with the real intel. And it looked like he was mentioning the curveball he saw pop up out of the hand. Like that one right there. That's nothing that a pitcher wants. You want that curveball to come out the hand still looking like a fastball. If the hitter sees it's popping up out of the hand early, you can read that pitch early.
3-2 to Angel Martinez. Yep. Swung on and missed. Martinez out on strikes, and the inning is over, but the damage is done. Not a night that said knee, it's a night that said whee. A 2.
On styles that say, I'm so back at Kohl's and Kohls.com.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, a grand slam for your budget. Celebrating the Hall of Fame inductees. We welcome you back to Cleveland, Ohio. A 2-0 lead for the home team with Tom Verducci. I'm Kevin Kugler, Tim Tawa, Ildemaro Vargas, and James McCann for the Diamondbacks here in the second against left-hander Parker Messick, who got into trouble early in the first and was able to work out of a 2-on, nobody-out jam, and gets Tawa to send this one sky high on the infield, where it's gloved by Travis Bazana, the second baseman, and there's one away.
Well, I would expect we're going to see Messick now really pound the zone. Of course, he threw all those pitches out of the zone to start the game, not on purpose, but I love the self-correction. No visits to the mound. He figured it out in real time with 2 runners on base, nobody out. Looks much better.
And the first pitch, a strike to Vargas. Retired 4 in a row now has Messick after the first 2 reached in this ball game. Facing the team that he broke in against in his major league debut last year. That was in Phoenix. He went 6 2/3, allowed just 1 run. He was on a bus from Toledo to Columbus. Found out he was making his big league debut that night in Phoenix and had to fight the logistics and hustle his way across the country to get in there to make that start. Turned out okay for him.
Yeah, we didn't look nervous at all in that game.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Vargas. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Messick, and there's 2 up and 2 down in the second.
Yeah, pitcher and catcher working really well together. Again, 2 strikes. What's your best pitch? It's the fastball that forces a swing decision. May not be in the zone, but it's close enough to challenge the hitter. And I'm telling you, it's either a pop-up or a swing and miss when he gets that 4-seamer on top rail.
One ball, no strikes on James McCann. He came off the injured list on July 6th, had a right quad strain. Since he came back, he's hit 12 for 24. 500 at the plate with 3 home runs and 10 runs driven in.
catching, as far as offense, is down in the game today. Not in Arizona with the two they have.
No.
They get a lot of offense out of the catching position.
A position that's in great demand right now in Major League Baseball. And a lot of teams are looking for a very few available catchers. We saw a trade made earlier today between the Guardians and the Brewers for Bo Naylor to go now from the Guardians to the Brewers and in their AAA system right now. And the 1-2 poked through the right side for a base hit for McCann. Continues his hot hitting since his return and pads that stat. Arizona catchers hitting .276 as a position this year.
This is exactly what Torey Lovullo told us he wants his team to do. Less than 2 strikes, they're thinking about hitting line drives up the middle. With 2 strikes, it's almost like your aiming point is either the second baseman or even the first baseman. And then if you get something off speed, you can use the pull side of the field. That default swing, exactly what he wants with 2 strikes.
And Ryan Waldschmidt looks at strike 1, the number 9 hitter. First round pick by Arizona in the 2024 draft. So a quick rise to the big leagues and some light sprinkles here in Cleveland. Saw the grounds crew stirring a little bit, but doesn't appear to be much urgency with that. If it holds at that, we should be okay. Knock on wood. 1-2 on Waldschmidt.
Another good changeup. He looks like he's got a good one tonight. And yeah, take it easy, guys. They don't look like they're primed to get into action anytime soon, so that's a good sign. Right, it's so tough as a hitter now. You guard against that 4-seamer up, and you just saw the changeup down. Difference in velocity, difference in vertical height.
The 1-2 is low, and it's 2-2 now on Waldschmidt.
Just tried to make a changeup even better, and that's how you wind up throwing a non-competitive one. Now it should be back to bread and butter. Fastball up.
The 2-2 lifted in the air to right field. Martinez is there, and Ano Martinez has it to retire the side in the second. 1 hit, 1 left. To the bottom of the second we go in a 2-0 game. Cole Drake back onto the hill, a 2-0 lead for Cleveland, and he'll face 6, 7, and 8 in the order, starting with David Fry, and the first pitch to Fry, a strike. The 2 runs coming on a blast off the bat of Rhys Hoskins in the first inning. 1 strike and nothing. Even now to Fry, 1-1. David Fry would love to get a good pitch to hit. 0 for his last 24 at the plate. 1-2 the count to the 183 hitting David Fry. Right back below us, still 1-2.
I would love to tell you how Cole Drake got to the big leagues. His story is pretty amazing, and it involves the greatest college nickname I've ever heard. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
You're a big college sports guy.
I do enjoy college sports.
So out of high school, he was 6'4", 6'5". Like he's not. He was throwing like 82, 83 miles an hour. No school offered him a scholarship except Arkansas Tech. Their nickname is the Wonder Boys. The Wonder Boys. I mean, how cool is that? You see, why would they get the name? Well, you have to go back to 1917. And their football team won a big game against Jonesboro. And the star of the game was a 17-year-old freshman. And the newspapers the next day, close pitch, reported that it was the Wonder Boys from Tech who won the game, and the nickname stuck, and it still has all these years.
The power of the newspaper man back then.
Back then.
Swing and a miss, and Fry is out on strikes. Second strikeout for Cole Drake, and there's 1 away in the second. Coming up August 9th on Fox, the stars of IndyCar are going full throttle as they look to chase down Alex Palou in Portland. August 9th, only on Fox. Was that also where the bat name and the natural came
Wonder
from?
Boy?
Was it inspired by Arkansas Tech?
Well, back in the 70s, the women's teams at Tech didn't kind of like the name that they were getting, which was the Wonder Girls or the Wonderettes, so they changed it to the Golden Suns. But Drake from there, he actually then went to Driveline, of course the pitching lab up in Washington State, and he said within a week he gained 4 to 5 miles an hour on his fastball.
Which is hard to believe.
In
really.
1 week.
In 1 week.
Well, from there he went to San Joaquin Delta College in Stockton, California. He said his parents from that area, so he had some connections there. And then he went to Walters State Community College in Tennessee. I said, how'd you wind up there? He said, a buddy of mine was going to the school, and the coach said, hey, do you know any left-handed pitchers who are looking to transfer? His buddy said, yeah, I got a guy. And he went 14-0 there and worked himself into a draft pick by Texas.
11th rounder, not bad, as he fires a strike in, and Travis Bazzana is caught looking. Third strikeout for Drake, and there's 2 gone in the second.
Well, that's that breaking pitch. I mentioned it's a good pitch for him to start the bat. It's a really good one to finish one as well. He's going to need that pitch. Again, the velocity is, even with the help from Driveline, not major league average even. But if he can change speeds like that, he'll do just fine.
Oh, but hold on, why not just go back for another week? Add 4 or 5 more miles per hour on there. I mean, at that rate, he's throwing about 120 at the end of August. One ball, no strikes to Austin Hedges. 2-0 the count.
People look at Austin Hedges as a defensive first guy, but he's made himself into a good offensive player this year. You see he's opened up his stance much more wide open this year, and the swing is shorter.
3 balls, no strikes with 2 out and nobody on here in the second.
And as much as we talk about pitching labs, Kevin, you can do the same offensively. You can get in there with technology and make some adjustments, and he's put in a lot of work.
3 balls and a strike. Second best batting average on the team for Austin Hedges. And the 3-1 will add to that batting average as a 2-hopper into left puts Hedges at first with 2 gone in the second.
It's a prime example of what he's been doing lately. He's just subtracted the length of his swing, and he's much quicker to the baseball. It's really impressive what he's done.
That'll give Brian Rocchio a chance here in the second inning. And Rocchio is plunked on the first pitch.
And no protection on the arm, that front arm there, and that's where it got him.
And after a good start to the inning, some 2-out peril for Cole Drake. A single and a hit by pitch. Above and Beyond is sponsored by Jersey Mike's and Stephen Kwan in the month of July. Nobody more disappointed to see the calendar flip than Stephen Kwan. What a month he had, but of course he started August with a solid single in the first.
There you go, keeping it going. You have to throw him a first pitch strike. He rarely swings at the first pitch. So if he's going to give you a strike, you must take it as a pitcher. But as I said, he's really comfortable hitting deep in counts.
First pitch strike starts off the at-bat of Stephen Kwan. All 3 Cleveland runs in this series have come with 2 out, including the 2 on the home run by Hoskins in the first. And the 0-1 bounced foul, and Kwan down 0-2.
I always think in these situations, the deeper the count, the more likely Kwan's able to take the ball the other way. Perdomo still shading him towards the second base bag. Big hole on the left side.
So 0-2 on Quan. Ball, 2 strikes. Quan very patient at the plate. Former Oregon State Beaver settling in. 2-2. He was 2 for 2 with a walk last night. The rest of the lineup was 1 for 26.
You can tell he's going really well. The way he just took those last 2 pitches, there was no flinching. He was just on balance, saw it the whole way. You've got to attack here with the fastball. You're not going to get him to chase.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Quan lines it into center field over the glove of Perdomo. Station to station baseball as everybody moves up a base, and they're loaded for Jose Ramirez.
Just a great Stephen Kwan classic at bat. This was the cutter, middle of the plate, and boy, he squared it up. When he hits the baseball, mostly it's going to be barreled up. Might not go far, but he hit it too hard to get the runner in from second. Easy hold right there with Jose Ramirez coming up.
And with 2 outs and with Ramirez coming up, Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach, out to talk with the young left-hander. Torey Lovullo said he loves to compete. I like his heartbeat. When things get tense, he seems to handle it well. Doesn't get much more tense than the bases loaded and Jose Ramirez coming to the plate.
Yeah, I'd like to see the read on the fitness monitor right about now. Bases loaded, you're already down 2. And you've got a guy, Ramirez, as you mentioned, coming off the IL. Maybe not as locked in as he typically is, but you know it can come at any time.
So here comes Ramirez. The player resume sponsored by Indeed. And when you look at players with over 1,000 games, there's 78. With over 1,000 hits, 63. Home runs, 21. RBI, 10. Stolen bases, over 206. Ramirez, the only one with all of those categories. And Ramirez, who flew out to left in the first, takes a strike from Cole Drake. That was pitch number 50 to the first 11 hitters of the night. 6 career grand slams for Ramirez, and the 0-1. 1-1 evens it up on Ramirez. Five home runs away to become the 9th member of the 300 home run, 300 stolen base club. And Ramirez, a line shot, but foul. He knows he just missed that one.
He's shaking his head. That's just a matter of timing. That ball is 104 off the bat. We talked about this. He loves hitting the ball out front. Just a smidgen a little too quick on that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Even now with Ramirez is Drake. 30th pitch of the inning coming. Big early moment in this game for a struggling offense against a young pitcher. 2 outs and the bases loaded. And Ramirez bounce it to second. Marte is there, and Drake gets out of a big-time jam. A little growth from a young pitcher for Arizona. Two 2-0 lead for the Guardians here in the top of the 3rd. And the First pitch to Corbin Carroll is low for ball one. 2-0 lead for Cleveland in the third.
Hey.
Strike one to Corbin Carroll, who walked in the first, and Parker Messick ran into early trouble in this game. He issued a walk to Carroll, fell behind Perdomo, who got a base hit. Carroll smokes this one down the line and right, and that's a foul ball. Then fell behind Moreno before he came back to get the strikeout of Moreno, Marte, and then got Arenado to ground out and got out of a jam, and Messick's been very good since.
I like that sly little grin he had on his face there.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I got away with that one. Luckily, that curved foul, because Corbin Carroll has, like, he and Jose Ramirez, I would say, have the quickest first steps out of the batter's box. They're always thinking extra bases. In Corbin's case, he's thinking 3 out of the box. Most guys think 2.
Remember when he came up late in the 2022 season, he had the fastest sprint speed of any major league player. He hasn't lost that speed. He slaps that one foul against the screen.
I would agree with Stephen Vogt, who called Jose Ramirez the best base runner in baseball. And this guy, Corbin Carroll, is right there with him.
And a cold third strike. Corbin Carroll caught looking. And the 4th strikeout for Parker Messick, 1 gone in the third.
What he does with his 4-seam fastball, very few pitchers in today's game can do. I'm not sure he wanted to go there. He saw where head was set up away. But he uses that pitch in all quadrants of the zone with command.
Perdomo singled in the first, one of 2 Arizona hits, the other from James McCann last inning.
The last pitch with the cutter that he added this year. I'm not in love with the pitch, but that's where the game is now, Kevin. Everybody needs 3 different fastballs. 4-seam, sinker, cutter. Usually 2 different breaking pitches and an off-speed pitch. It's all about having a deep arsenal and a good poncho.
On the ground, 1 hopper. Ramirez, nice pickup and a clean throw to first for out number 2.
He's playing in at third base. This ball is a skidder off the wet grass. No second hop there. That ball just skidded on him and stayed down on it.
Yeah, that rain picking up with a little bit of vigor right now. As Gabriel Moreno steps in with 2 out and nobody on, shows bunt and takes strike 1. Moreno struck out swinging in the first. And quickly down 2 strikes. That changeup that, again, we were told wasn't a pitch he was feeling very good about. But I think he feels better about it early here tonight.
Well, he should, because they're not reading that pitch out of the hand. Hasn't thrown a ton, but the ones he has thrown have been very good. And you see the Arizona hitters committing early, reading fastball.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Moreno. Challenge. He said it's close.
Yeah, it was close. That just been pretty good back there, but not on this one.
Cleveland has 1 remaining.
Not as close as he thought.
1-2.
And Moreno dumps this one down the right field line. That is foul. Taking aim for that right field corner. Moreno will go back and see another 1-2 pitch from Parker Messick.
Well, he does a lot of this with 2 strikes. I want you to see, before 2 strikes on the left, the high leg kick, that's an A+ swing. Now he has a B hack here. Watch the front half. Very little going on lower half. Just a slight toe tap. Limit the movement. Quicker to the baseball. Just put the ball in play, and that's where he uses right field. I love that, by the way. I just think that, as Stephen Vogt talked about, the stuff in the game is so good. You better have multiple swings, especially with 2 strikes. just getting up there and giving 3 of the same A+ swings like you want to hit it out of the park, it's not going to work in today's game.
Do you feel like the B-hack has gone away a little bit from the game?
I actually think it's coming back.
Okay.
My best example besides Gabby is Cody Bellinger, who used to be an automatic out with 2 strikes because he never changed. And now what he does is very similar. Quiets the lower half, shortens the stroke. He's become one of the best 2-strike hitters.
The 2-2 to Moreno.
Foul ball. Ooh.
And that fouled off the foot of Moreno. It'll take a minute to get him back in the batter's box.
And this is a good example of this at bat because you have so many pitches to cover now in today's game. That was the slider. I haven't seen many of those tonight. Over the top of it. Oh, yeah, there's padding there, but when it hits right on the bone, it smarts. Parker doesn't throw many sliders, but again, this is what you're up against in the game. He's willing to throw that with 2 strikes. That's his 6th best pitch. And we know all about the 4-seamer and the changeup. You're always guarding against those, but there's just so much to cover. Good to see a smile right there.
Letting that one die down a little bit, the buzzing and the pain, and has to get back in there and face Parker Messick again. See the sequence in this at-bat, 8th pitch coming to Moreno, and that pitch count at 52. It was a busy first inning for Parker Messick to drive up that number a little bit. Moreno ready in the 2-2. Lifted in the air to left field. Fry and Kwan converge. It'll be the center fielder Kwan who makes the catch. And the first 1-2-3 inning for either pitcher tonight in a 2-0 Guardians game. 2-0 lead for the Guardians as we welcome you back to the bottom of the 3rd inning after a 30-pitch 2nd inning. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Parker Messick. Cole Drake right back out on the hill, and the first pitch swinging. Popped up foul off the bat of Chase DeLauder with the country roads echoing throughout the stadium here in Cleveland. His walk-up song.
I will say that's a song that doesn't get old. It doesn't get itself played out. Now, 81 home games a year, 4 or 5 plate appearances a year. Yeah. They'll test it, but classic.
Oh, and it got a lot of run during the World Cup on Fox. It has become, I don't want to say it's replaced Sweet Caroline at ballparks, but it's certainly becoming
2-1.
one of those iconic ballpark songs that everybody knows the lyrics to.
It's a thing, no doubt.
The 2-1. And DeLauder looks at ball 3. Did not go around, and it's 3-1 with Hoskins and Martinez to follow here in the Guardians' 3rd.
Yeah, by the way, that was a great mound visit by Brian Kaplan last inning, a long inning. To settle down Drake. Bases loaded. Ramirez in the box. I thought that was just a good reset. I'm sure nothing mechanical was spoken about, but just knowing how big that at bat was. Take your time.
3-2, and that's smoked to left field. Going back is Waldschmidt at the track. He'll make the catch, and there's one away. Our power players sponsored by Walmart Plus as we look back at the home run from Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, he started with a breaking pitch. That's the one we thought maybe popped out of the hand where he saw that. Didn't offer it out of the zone. Came back with the heater. Good pitch. Even count. He's going to try to come back with it. Very similar location. I just think he saw the ball well out of the hand. Didn't miss it.
12th home run of the season for Hoskins, and the first pitch strike from Drake. By the way, that's his 5th home run in the last 12 games, so maybe that bat's starting to warm up a little bit as we get into August. Career home run number 198. Good off speed. That curveball had him off balance. Yeah. And Hoskins down 2 strikes.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he's such a big key for this team because he can provide pop, especially against left-handers from the right side, for a team that doesn't score a lot of home runs, doesn't flip games with one swing very often. Just mix a few of those in, And with their pitching and defense, that's really part of a winning recipe.
No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Cole Drake with a quick strikeout of Rhys Hoskins, his 4th strikeout of the night.
Well, he read fastball out of the hand here. Watch how the barrel is through the zone before that changeup gets there. Just ran out of barrel. Great pitch. You throw a changeup middle, and get the hitter out front. That means you sold it well with arm speed, gave nothing away on that pitch.
Here's Angel Martinez, first pitch swinging and a line drive to left. Waldschmidt looking up. That one is off the wall. Martinez coasting into second with a 2-out double.
Well, that's another good sign for Cleveland if he starts swinging the bat the way that he can. Really aggressive first pitch right over the plate. Again, pull the trigger on that, especially 2 outs, bases empty. Get yourself in scoring position.
To your point, snaps an 0 for 19 for Angel Martinez. And he hit that ball well. Here's David Fry, struck out swinging his first time up in the second.
Well, when I talked with Cole Drake about what goes well when you're pitching well, the first thing he mentioned was tempo. He likes to pitch quickly. But today it seems like he's pitched with so much traffic, he's got to be a little more methodical as he has been.
Yeah, this is more deliberate than you'd want to pitch if your goal or your aim is to pitch with pace.
This is what happens when you're in trouble. Runners in scoring position, leadoff runners getting on. He's been tested here.
Two balls, no strikes on David Fry. Guardians with that 2-0 lead, but remember the Diamondbacks come from behind better than anybody in baseball. Had their 34th comeback win on Friday, the most in the big leagues. Down 1-0 until the 8th inning. They scored 4 to win it 4-1. 3 balls and a strike to David Fry. Martinez snapped an 0 for 19. Fry would love to snap his streak 0 for 25 at the plate. Swing and a miss.
Oh, great pitch. You saw McCann say basically the same thing. That's first base open, 2 outs, left-handed hitter on deck. That's a pitch that says, I don't have to give in here. You want to chase my changeup? Go right ahead. You could even double up on that or go to the curveball.
See where he goes here on 3-2. It's the curveball and it's low for ball 4.
I don't mind it though. It's a good pitch sequence. Good call by McCann back there. But now you just have to consolidate that decision by getting the left-handed hitter Bazana.
Travis Bazana was called out on strikes in the second inning. He comes up with 2 out but 2 on. The Guardians left him loaded in the second inning after Ramirez grounded out with the bases full. 7 runners have now reached for Cleveland tonight. 6 of the 7 with 2 out.
Ball.
1 ball, no strikes on Travis Bazana.
And when I talked to Travis about what's the biggest difference in the major leagues from the minor leagues, he said left-handed breaking pitches. He said you don't see the really good ones in the minor leagues. You're not prepared for it.
Ball.
Ball 2 to Bazana. The young all-star in the driver's seat at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. He's going to challenge that call of a strike is Bazana.
He looked that one all the way in the glove. He's thinking that's below the zone. He's right.
So now 3 balls, no strikes on Travis Bazzana.
He tends to be patient, but I'd like to have him have a green light here.
And he does, and he smacks it to right, but Carroll is there to make the catch. And the side is retired. Cole Drake dodges another one in the 3rd. Our sleeper picks sponsored by Mattress Firm. And let's take a look at the NL wildcard. Cubs seem to be in good shape in that top spot for the moment in the wildcard, but what a race behind to make that position. Top 3 cards making the postseason.
Yeah, it's fascinating with the Diamondbacks right in the thick of things. What's going to happen in the next couple of days? Trade deadline 6 p.m. on Monday. Diamondbacks had to move a whole bunch of people last year after falling out of the race. Just the opposite this year, looking for a starting pitching and a left-handed bat.
Marte, line drive to right. That'll be played off the wall, and Ketel Marte on his way to second with a leadoff double.
This ball was hit so hard that Martinez actually was fooled by a little bit. Line drive, it just kept carrying. Watch, he thinks he's got a beat on it. He's playing a little shallow, and right there he says, I can't get to that. And a couple years ago, Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, told me that Marte is the best right-handed hitter in the league. I said, Aaron Judge? He said, yeah, I've seen enough of Marte. Well, they see him a lot during the year.
Arenado takes strike 1. You see the ranks since 2023 for Ketel Marte among second basemen in Major League Baseball. He stands alone in all those categories. Take me back to the trading deadline coming up Monday.
Yep.
A lot of teams in contention. We just showed you the NL wild card. There's a lot of teams that are within shouting distance both in the National League and the American League. How busy is this deadline going to be?
I think it's going to be busy but late. I think the Tigers with Tarek Skubal, of course, have the biggest chip on the market, and that may play out right towards the deadline. So in a way, it's sort of holding up the secondary starting pitching market. Jose Soriano, Casey Mize, Freddie Peralta, Kevin Gausman. There's a lot of good starting pitchers out there, but if you're in it for Skubal, you have to wait to see what happens there.
2-1 in there for a strike, 2-2. And the Diamondbacks, GM Mike Hazen has said production at first base would be a major need. If you could get that bat that you were talking about, and oh, by the way, that was a first baseman, that would fit very well with what they have. And the 2-2 fouled away. The good news for Arizona is they're about to get some reinforcements from the injured list. Some guys coming back. We were talking earlier with Torey Lovello, and he said Michael Soroka's on his way back. He's going down to the minor leagues on Tuesday for a rehab assignment, and he could be back up very soon just to start that flood of arms that might come back. Closer Justin Martinez probably going out on Tuesday for a rehab assignment. Get him back hopefully soon for them. Corbin Burns could be a factor come September.
Ryan Nelson, yeah, that's why I think the bat is a little more important to me than the pitcher.
Good at bat here for Arenado, staying alive on 2-2.
And Nolan recently got career hit number 2,000. Here's the pitchers. I mean, what injuries they've had to this staff is just amazing. So if you can add Soroka and Justin Martinez the next couple of weeks.
Backing up to play it on the hop is Ramirez. The throw across in time to get Arenado, and there's one away.
That's a nice job by Messick there, because Arenado is a pull hitter, no question about it. But he had swings early in that bat trying to move the runner. But that changeup there was the difference maker. If you want to roll over ground ball, the changeup is the pitch. Great execution. Runner is held at second base.
So one down with Marte at second for Tim Tawa. Tawa showing bunt, takes a strike. We told you earlier that there was one move made already by the Guardians. Cody Hoyer and Bo Naylor going to the Brewers. Craig Yoho and Blake Perkins the return. Now that doesn't have the feel of a major impact, at least right now. Perkins will start off at AAA Columbus. But as far as the Guardians go, they have some holes they'd like to try to fill if they can, staying around in that wild card hunt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very young team, the youngest team in baseball, and they could always use more thump in that lineup. Perkins is not necessarily that kind of a hitter. Better from the right side. He is a premier defender, which that's the MO for Cleveland, right?
Arizona 0 for 4 tonight with runners in scoring position, 11 for their last 68, which is kind of hard to justify or jibe with the numbers that you see for Arizona from an offensive standpoint that have helped them get into contention. You see what the Guardians are doing in the American League wild card, but this Arizona team has been piling up runs, but they've not been getting big hits with runners in scoring position. Had a lot of chances though.
That's what I like about it. I'm a big believer is I want to know how many times you're knocking on the door. And sometimes the batting average can be bad, but if you have a lot of opportunities in those situations, and we're seeing it again tonight, you feel like eventually you're going to break through. When you're not getting those opportunities, that's what I would be concerned about. They are certainly getting a lot of traffic out there.
And Tawa, swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. 5th strikeout for Parker Messick, and there's 2 gone in the 4th.
A classic example of speeding guys up, slowing them down. The fastball, again, top of the zone. It's either a pop-up or a swing and a miss. Hate to repeat myself, but that's what Parker Messick does. He repeats that pitch when he has to, especially in trouble.
It's Vargas now, the last hope for the Diamondbacks after the leadoff double by Marte, and he's down a strike.
And I'm sure the Diamondbacks talked about this in the hitters meeting before the game. Make them get the fastball down. You just saw Vargas take a big swing at that top rail heater. Missed it.
Reaching for this one, pokes it into center field. Kwan on the move, gets there in time to make the catch and retire the side. Leadoff double is left stranded at second in the 4th.
AWS.
When they heard Tom Verducci was coming to town, they broke out an in-house DJ.
You gotta have one. It used to be you had to have an organ at a ballpark. Now it's not a ballpark without a house DJ.
If you could only combine the 2 loves, a house DJ playing an organ, I mean, my gosh, everybody would be thrilled.
I'm not sure I want to hear that.
Generational gap closed. There's Austin Hedges. He had a base hit his first time up in the 2nd, was left stranded at 3rd when the Guardians left him loaded in the 2nd inning.
And I, and more importantly, Torey Lovullo will be watching Drake really closely this inning. 74 pitches to get the first 3 innings. 9 of the 16 batters he faced were with runners on base. Highly stressful.
He's had at least 20 pitches each inning so far.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. And nothing's come easy. He's pitched well, but nothing has come easy. And he's a guy they're always concerned about as far as holding his stuff when he gets to this kind of pitch count.
1-2 is low. 2-2 to Hedges. Number 9 hitter Brian Rocchio, and then the top of the order Stephen Kwan here in the 4th inning against left-hander Cole Drake. Bullpen quiet for the moment as the 2-2 comes in just high, and it's 3-2 now on Hedges.
And his first 2 games, Drake on full counts threw a fastball every pitch. Let's see what he does here, full count.
At 3-2, there's the fastball, and he just missed wide of the zone. They're going to challenge that. And that's strike 3. Hedges is out on strikes, and a good challenge from James McCann to get the first out and save his young pitcher another base runner.
Now that's clutch. Hey, talk about clutch hits. That's a clutch challenge.
Well, we've spent most of this season, Tom, trying to figure out when's the right time to challenge. When's a high leverage time to challenge? That feels like, and I know it's the 4th inning of a 2-0 game. The way Cole Drake is battling right now, that feels like a pretty important time for that challenge.
Agreed, no doubt about that. If he has to get back into a stretch with the leadoff hitter on base, I guarantee you Torey Lovullo would get his bullpen ready. Instead, he's got one out, bases empty. I love the veteran catchers making those calls on their own that quickly. He made it confidently. And I'm not sure you do as much calculus as we think in terms of leverage, as much as it is. He's seen a million pitches behind the plate in his life, right? And he knows now the strike zone in the ABS era. Veteran catchers, yeah, trust them.
1 ball, 1 strike. High for ball 2.
Offside. Take it.
Just a little. Let's settle down now. That last curveball, non-competitive, just didn't finish the pitch. Again, you watch closely now. 18th batter he's facing.
And smoked foul. 2-2.
They got away with that mistake right there.
Rocchio hit by a pitch his first time up. Reaching for that one and fouls it away. Another fastball from Drake. Coming in at about 92 now on the gun. He's been working out there.
Yeah, I mean, last year when he was in the Texas system, he was a little higher than that. It's probably down a tick or two, but I like the way he's changing speeds.
2-2 is low, and it's 3-2. That's his 86th pitch of the outing. That's a new big league high as far as pitch count goes for Cole Drake.
Another big 3-2 pitch. And if his 3 holds, it'll be a fastball.
The 3-2 in the air to left field. Well hit, but curling and foul. Still 3-2 on Brian Rocchio. And again, history held a fastball once more.
Yeah, I mean, as you start to graduate levels, so to speak, as a major league pitcher, and this is only his 3rd big league start. You see the pitch sequence here. He has changed speeds really well. He'll be dropping in secondary stuff, full counts.
Another 3-2, and it's fouled back below us. With the cut fastball that time, and it's still 3-2.
And now it's time. And a lot of work out there. You mentioned the pitch count. Top of the order coming around after Rocchio.
Swing and a miss. He got him on the changeup on 3-2.
It was such a great sequence, the entire at bat. And now you get a little graduation there, next level. He's worked really well with McCann. I haven't seen him shake off anything. The 3-2 changeup, guys, you can sit down now.
At least for a moment. And Stephen Kwan looks at strike 1. He's 2 for 2 tonight against Cole Drake. 4 for 4 now in the series. And that bullpen just starting to spring to life. Gerardo Carrillo, right-hander, going to work for Arizona. The 1-1, and Kwan smacks it into the upper deck foul. 1-2.
Yeah, Cole Drake, I'm really impressed with the way he has changed pitches, working well with McCann. Every one of his pitches, it seems like he's using, not running away from anything.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Kwan. Looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Young left-hander trying to deal with Stephen Kwan, a retirement for the first time in the series, and he'll do so. Bouncer to Marte at second, and there's a 1-2-3 inning for Cole Drake with a pair of strikeouts to keep it a 2-0 game. Sometimes you get a chance watching a young pitcher to see growth moments in a young guy's career, and I think we've seen a couple of those tonight for Cole Drake.
Absolutely, especially the home run early may get knocked back on your heels, but pitching out of the bases loaded jam, and that inning actually was his best inning, that last inning, as the pitch count was getting higher. Some concern in the dugout about maybe getting the bullpen ready.
James McCann looks at a changeup for a strike. It's McCann, Waldschmidt, and Carroll against Parker Messick, who's got a 2-0 lead here in the 5th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. And off the end of the bat, foul. Off the changeup. We've seen him really lean on that changeup more tonight than perhaps in his last couple of starts, after Stephen Vogt told us that that change just hasn't been a very good pitch for him over the last month. The 1-2. Fouled away. That's the fastball, and that fastball has been a great pitch for Parker Messick throughout the course of the season, throughout the course of his very young career.
I'll tell you how great it's been. If you took every pitch in baseball, every singular pitch, the one that grades out the best is his four-seamer. See, it fouled off right there. Why is that? You know, he only throws, I say only, 94. It's the toughest four-seamer to hit. Yeah, even more than the Miz.
Yeah, look at the company he's
throws
keeping
a
there.
billion. Those two guys are elite fastball pitchers in terms of velo. He's not in terms of velo, but in spin rate and induced vertical break, which is essentially how it holds its plane. Yeah, it's elite.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wide of the zone, that time with a change, 2-2.
And I asked him, when did you first hear about induced vertical break? And he said, not until I was in pro ball. Essentially, if you saw a video of him when he was 10 years old, this is the way he threw.
Swing and a miss. That's the curveball. And McCann out on strike, 6th strikeout for Messick.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the breaker right here. That's a well-executed one, just diving down the zone. I mean, that's when you have 3 put-away pitches like that, it's tough to time.
Well, that range tells the tale. 80 to 97 on his range tonight.
So I'll tell you the other thing about his fastball. He has long extension, and he gets down as a drop and drive pitcher, but he gets his arm up. So he has a low release point, but a high arm angle. That is very unusual in the game. So he's driving the ball to the top of the zone from a low point, but with a high arm angle, he's on top of the baseball. So he has true north-south spin. That's a good example right there, just driving it down. Only 2 other pitchers match him in terms of high arm angle, low slot. Shota Imanaga, who's also got a disappearing four-seamer, and Yamamoto. So there's deception there. Besides, his command is impeccable. But if you watch low release point, look at how he gets into his legs, but his arm is high. You don't typically see that combination, the ball coming from a low spot, but a high arm angle. And that's why he's got such great spin on his four-seamer and deception.
One ball, 2 strikes on Waldschmidt.
Thank you very much. After he was drafted, he's a great college pitcher, but wasn't thought of that high because people didn't think he had a truly high ceiling. They thought he was a back of the rotation guy. The next year, 2023, he was the 24th rated prospect for the Indians, for the Guardians.
What a pickup. Rocchio's long throw not going to get Waldschmidt, but a great effort by Brian Rocchio on the infield single for Ryan Waldschmidt. Go all in on game nights with MLB Plus. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game, Game Day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Got a little bit of activity now in the Cleveland bullpen. Colin Holderman, the right-hander, up and warming with that pitch count starting to elevate for Parker Messick. One on, one out. And one of the things that Messick has seen, at least in the early stages, innings 1 through 4, his earned run average is 1.39. 5 innings and beyond, the ERA balloons to over 5.
And not unusual for a young pitcher. And Stephen Vogt knows that as this lineup starts to turn over a 3rd time, you want a right-hander on Moreno and Marte.
One ball, 2 strikes. On the ground, past the diving Bazana into center field for a base hit. So Carroll aboard for the second time tonight. Waldschmidt at second, and the Diamondbacks with another opportunity here in the fifth. 2 on and only 1 out.
Lozano just can't believe he didn't get this ball. It looked like it just slid underneath the diving attempt here. How close did he come? Oh, so close.
And now Geraldo Perdomo with an opportunity. Looks to change up into the glove of Hedges for strike 1. Time called, another runner in scoring position. Diamondbacks 0 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. On Tuesday, they were 2 for 27 against the Pirates with runners in scoring position.
I've never heard of that, by the way.
That had been done since 1920.
Oh, that's why I hadn't heard of it. 27 at bats with runners in scoring position. That's traffic.
Two balls and a strike. Parker Messick.
This is where, as a young pitcher, you really trust Hedges. No idea of a shake here. Trust your veteran.
Fires in the changeup. 2-2.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yep.
Behind him the count. 2 runners on base. Just drop in a changeup.
He hasn't had a 3-ball count since Perdomo was up the second batter of the game. And he won't hear. Broken bat to the right side, smothered, but nowhere to go with it with Hoskins, and he throws it to the dugout. Headed for home is Waldschmidt. Hoskins ranging over to cover that play, tried to flip it, but Messick was nowhere near the bag, and the errant throw plates the first Arizona run.
Yeah, 2 bad decisions. Venturing too far. Watch him. He knows that Bazzana's all the way over, but Bazzana's got that ground ball. It's not hit hard. And then just ill-advised, trying to make a play when no play was to be made.
And that will do it for the night for Parker Messick. Back in a moment.
Sent.
Colin Holderman has been very good out of the bullpen. 43rd game, 6-2 record, a 1.71 earned run average. Oft-used right-hander comes in a critical situation. Parker Messick leaves 4 1/3 innings, responsible for the runners at second and third. The infield in as Gabby Moreno comes to the plate and looks at ball 1.
Here, Holderman's a strike thrower and a ground ball pitcher. Moreno. Well, we've seen what he can do. He can use the entire field and certainly doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes. Patient.
1 ball, 1 strike on Moreno. Last 25 games, Holderman an earned run average of 1.29. He's been outstanding. Definitely a high leverage spot for a team that knows that runs are hard to come by. And a 2-1 lead is worth trying to preserve. Moreno, good pitch, the sweeper for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Now Moreno's into that 2-strike mode. This is where he favors the right side of the field. You know, I was watching Carroll at third base. We talked about what a great base runner he is. He's going on contact here with the trail runner behind him. And he's having a short lead, but moving as the pitch is being thrown. Just a great fundamental lead off of third base in this situation. It's going to be hard to throw out on a ground ball.
The 1-2 pitch to Moreno. On the ground to third. Runner caught between second and third. The run will score. This game is tied. Now chasing back to second and in, but tagged for the out. Staying at first is Moreno. He'll get the RBI, grounding out on the force. Perdomo is retired. Carroll scores, and we're tied at 2.
I mean, this has been some rally. It's 4 straight ground balls, not all of them, if any, well struck. But that's a testament to the base running of Corbin Carroll. Or even Jose Ramirez knew they not have a play at the plate. I mean, you rarely see a guy score from third with the infield in on
No.
a ground ball to third.
No.
But he did without a throw.
But you pointed it out too, and it's exactly as you said, the base running advantage that he had. Didn't even try to throw him out on a 5-4, 6-5 putout. Instead, Perdomo is retired.
He's such a good base runner. And then Jose Ramirez is such a smart player. He knew that. He did the calculus. Let me get the shore out.
Marte, a little nubber up the first baseline. That's a fair ball. Holderman there to tag him. And the side is retired. But in the inning, the Diamondbacks strike for 2 in a brand new ball game in Cleveland. Battle of the bullpens now as the night is done for Cole Drake. Gerardo Carrillo coming on for his 4th appearance, a 1-0 record, and in 6 innings, an earned run average of 1.50. Not an easy task for the young right-hander as he faces off against the meat of the order, Jose Ramirez at the plate, in the first pitch low for ball 1. 0 for 2 tonight. Last time Ramirez was up, he came up with the bags full and grounded out to second to end the inning. Two balls, no strikes on Ramirez.
Generally, you're going to look down against Carrillo. Sinker splits. You saw the cutter there. You just have to keep the ball away from Ramirez.
Taking all the way, and he takes a strike. Now 7 for 35 since coming off the injured list. That's a 200 batting average. On the ground, tough hop. What a pickup. Vargas with the snare on the short hop for out number 1.
Oh, that was sweet. Quick hands. I want you to watch the way his glove is going to work through the baseball. Don't just stab at it, work through it. He wasn't sure he had it.
He was looking up. Where's the ball? Oh, it's in my glove.
You can smile now.
Chase DeLauder to the plate. And DeLauder looks at the fastball for a strike. See a pinch hitter on deck. Rhys Hoskins is being lifted. Kyle Manzardo waiting on deck. And DeLauder fouls it off to the right quickly, 0-2.
Yeah, that was a splitter left up in the zone. It's surprising to me that DeLauder, who again I talked about how he can wait and he's got a short stroke, but he struggles against off-speed pitches. You would think with that approach he'd be good against them.
And the 0-2 pounded on the ground to the right side where Marte waits at second, and there's 2 gone. Let's take a look at the Fisher Investments player profile, and the profile is of Cole Drake, the rookie left-hander. You may look at that line and say, okay, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. He had to pitch in some really high leverage spots, got out of some big time jams in those 4 innings.
Yeah, I would say impressed most by the poise, getting Jose Ramirez with the bases loaded. And then his last inning, and I know it's only 4 innings pitched, but he pitched with so much traffic. When he pitched his 4th inning there, that was the best stuff he had all night. So holding his stuff, leaving it a 2-2 game. Torey Lovullo would take that from his young left-hander.
Here's Kyle Manzardo at the plate. Pinch hitting for Rhys Hoskins. Get the left-hander up there against the right-handed pitcher. And Manzardo really struggled against left-handers. I want to work against a right-hander here. 3 homers in his last 8 games, including his first career grand slam earlier in the week against the Reds. 1 ball, 1 strike. "13 home runs in all this year for Manzardo, 38 runs driven in." One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you can see how the infield defends him. He's a pull hitter. He's all about getting the ball in the air to the pull side. And you see the infield swung around. That can make him vulnerable to that split.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2. Parker Messick looking on. And a beautiful splitter called strike 3. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. And a 2-2 game.
Change.
2-2 ball game as we welcome you back for the 6th inning. A couple of defensive changes that we'll get to in just a moment. As we start off this 6th inning. Colin Holderman still on the hill in relief of Parker Messick, and the first pitch to Nolan Arenado is a strike. Petey Halpin comes into the ball game now in center field. Stephen Kwan is back in left with Kyle Manzardo at first base. And a bouncing ball, that is a fair ball into the corner. And Arenado, like he was a little slow getting out of the batter's box, held to a single going down into the corner.
Well played by Stephen Kwan, too. That's not an easy play when that ball's going to rattle off that wall. Definitely a fair ball, tucked inside the bag. And just a lot of respect for Stephen Kwan and how cleanly he plays left field.
So a leadoff base hit for Arenado. He's at first with nobody out for Tim Tawa. And Tawa with a bunt up the first base side. Only play is to first. It'll be a sacrifice for Tim Tawa. To second goes Arenado with 1 away.
Yeah, that is not an automatic bunt situation by any means. 6th inning with the bottom of the lineup coming up.
How much of that do you think has to do with the struggles that the Guardians have scoring runs, where 1 run could be enough in a game like this?
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, you almost feel like the next run can win the game, so you're almost playing it as if it's the 8th inning and not the 6th inning.
Arizona is a team that will occasionally drop a bunt, down 26 sacrifice bunts on the year, second most in Major League Baseball. But with your 6th hitter in the 6th inning of a 2-2 game, that's not necessarily the normal spot you'd see one.
Well, we've seen them play really good team offensive baseball during this hot streak of theirs. Guys taking the ball the other way, taking walks, and that's certainly a part of it.
2 balls and a strike on Ildemaro Vargas. Franco Aleman starting to warm up in the Cleveland pen. Swing and a miss. Good sweeper. Vargas way off balance. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Vargas down on strikes. 2 gone in the 6th.
First the sweeper, and then this is the curveball to the back foot. Once again, Vargas way out in front.
Oh, and McCann on the first pitch is plunked. And James McCann heads to first.
That's why you wear those.
Well, in this case, I think the batter does have protection on the arm, and it sounded like it hit it, and it did.
Yep. In fact, I think you heard James McCann say, that's why you wear those.
Yeah, it's gonna kill.
It still hurts, but those guards really do help. I understand why hitters wear them. I mean, the hit by pitch rate in this era of baseball is much higher than it's ever been.
Two on, two out for the number 9 hitter Ryan Waldschmidt, who swings through a sweeper for strike one. Two good sweepers from Holderman, and he's one strike from getting out of the inning.
And Kevin, this is a case where you need that B swing right now, because those first two swings were pull side, get the ball airborne type swings. Not going to work against anything, but especially that sweeper. Shorten up. Think of your default as that side of the field, right side of the field.
No balls, two strikes. High and tight, and it's 1-2.
1-2.
Waldschmidt with that single in the 5th, now 9 for his last 16 at the plate. Pretty hot bat over a short amount of time. Trying to give it Arizona the lead here. The 1-2. High, 2-2.
I thought he could sneak the high fastball by him after a series of sweepers. Probably tells me he's going back to that sweeper. That's what he got the first two swings on.
Good swing. Fouled it back.
That was not where he wanted it. That's the kind of sweeper, as soon as you let it go, you think, oh no. I'm glad to get to another pitch, because he was right on it, just fouled it straight back.
Thank you.
23-year-old Ryan Waldschmidt. First round pick in 2024. A chance to give the Diamondbacks a lead here in the 6th. The 2-2. Into right field. That's a base hit. Arenado around third. They slam on the brakes as the throw comes in. He stops at third, and the bases are loaded for Corbin Carroll.
Thank you.
Wow, what a difference, right? Watch the swing compared to those first two swings and misses. Inside the ball, hands in tight, shorten up. And I agree with this send. Normally you're going to send the runner with 2 outs, but that ball was hit too hard. Arenado just doesn't run well enough to take that chance.
So a visit to the mound by Carl Willis, the pitching coach. Holderman facing Corbin Carroll with the bases loaded and 2 out. Bullpen is ready if they need it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the situation would be to make the move. But clearly still confidence in Holderman and that sweeper to attack the left-handed hitter.
Carroll has walked and singled tonight. He scored a run. Guardians had him loaded in the 2nd. Ramirez grounded out to end the threat. Now the Diamondbacks with the bags full in the 6th, and Corbin Carroll to the plate. And that sweeper missing wide of the zone. Corbin Carroll's been awfully good in his career and this season. 2 of those 5 grand slams have been this year. 5 for 8 with the bases loaded this season. The 1-0. 2-0 to Corbin Carroll. Ball 3. There's going to be a challenge on the ball 3 call. And it's 2-1. Big time challenge.
Yeah, that is. That gets his pitcher back in the count.
Two balls and a strike to Carroll. Swing and a miss. There's that sweeper, and it's 2-2.
And that was all set up by getting that call, that challenge. Get back in the count, get back to your best pitch. You can throw it again now at 2-2.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Carroll in the air to right. Martinez curling into the corner. At the track makes the catch. And the Diamondbacks leave him loaded in inning number 6. Still a 2-2 game in Cleveland. Angel Martinez, who squeezed the 3rd out of the top half of the 6th inning, will step up to the plate in the bottom half of the 6th inning against Gerardo Carrillo. And Carrillo starts him off with a first pitch strike. Each team has had opportunities to either grab the lead or expand the lead. Each has left the bases loaded once tonight. Swing and a miss. Good splitter. 0-2.
We've seen some really good challenges by the catchers, too. That one Hedges had, I'm telling you, 3-0 bases loaded. It's a different script. Instead, he got his pitcher back in the count. He did get him on the sweeper.
Time out, time out, time out. Right, you got to wait for him to be set.
The 0-2 pitch to Angel Martinez starting off this 6th inning. Chased one in the dirt. They're going to have to throw to first. McCann will flip it to the bag in time. And their strikeout to start the 6th inning. This was moments ago. Big battle between Ketchup and Mustard in the hot dog race. And this man, I mean, he didn't hide his rooting interest well, but look at this. Prepared for the Mustard loss with a clown nose.
That's a family member out there competing.
We're always disappointed when our children don't live up to the high standard that we might have for them. And clearly, Mustard and Mustard Sr. going to have a stern conversation tonight after this one.
I mean, that's bigger than Yankees Red Sox.
Oh, no question.
Ketchup Mustard, that's an all-time rivalry. If I'm Mustard, I'm challenging that. Can we go to replay?
Mustard has a manager. Think WWE style manager. A dude out there in a mustard yellow jacket. And what you didn't see happened after the end of the race. The manager brought out a suitcase full of Uno cards. And they were looking for an Uno reverse card to try to reverse the ruling in the race. But they didn't have one in the stack.
I know this. We're in Cleveland, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Those condiments are rock stars in this town.
Oh, it is huge.
They introduced them before the game, and there it is.
There's the dumping of the Uno cards as Mustard looks to try to reverse it, and no reverse is found. As Ketchup just taunts. Petey Halpin even in the count, 1-1. Bouncing ball up the middle, and his first at-bat of the night is a base hit with 1 down in the 6th. Saturday night is baseball night in America, and this week we've got regional action with 3 matchups from across the league. Guardians, White Sox, Orioles, Rangers, and Tigers, Giants. Check local listings for the game in your area Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Some of those teams may look very different by this time next week. Trading deadline is Monday evening. Travis Bazzana with the go-ahead run at first. And 1 down here in the 6th. Petey Halpin, by the way, 7 for 7 on the base paths this season. Yeah, with that in mind, a quick throw over.
Keep him close. Definitely a good running situation here. Well, he had a short lead, but it looked like he had him timed, wanted to go. Was moving towards second. But Carrillo just held the ball just a split second longer and stopped him. Looks like he's trying to get him timed with each pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Wide of the zone, and it's 2-1 now
2-1.
on Bazana. Two-two game in the sixth.
Double. Yeah, I'm good. That's all right.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I would think this would be a good pitch to run on here. Typically a splitter count for Carrillo.
See if Halpin gets a comfortable lead and takes off here. The 2-2. And again to first, and there was a little lean there.
Yeah, he's trying to get him timed. I like the fact that he's trying to get some movement towards second. Now the downside is if he picks right when you're jumping towards second, you're going to be out. But he was able to scramble back. That's 2 disengagements. That's all the more reason to make this light even more green.
Bazana at the plate, Halpin at first. The 2-2 not going, and it's wide of the zone, ball 3.
Oh, he did the same thing. He tried to time it, and just good job by Correa defending it because he's varying the times. He's getting set early, which giving him time on the pitch clock to hold him at first base.
Austin Hedges waiting on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Travis Bazana. Time is called. The runner was going, and time called behind the plate by James McCann.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. That Bazana's, I guess, maybe didn't hear this. He clearly called time. I mean, he saw the pitch clock running down. Obviously, you don't want to get a violation at that point. It'd be ball 4. We've seen some really heads-up catching play tonight. But as you see, Halpin is running here. There's no doubt about that.
Can't disengage to first unless you get him. And the 3-2 pitch coming to Bazana. There he goes. Fouled back.
You good? Appreciate it.
You know, if you hold the baseball long enough, the runner can see that pitch timer, and you can see it getting down to 1. It's almost like a third down play, rushing the quarterback. You know, we can go.
7th pitch of the at-bat, runner goes, bouncing ball to the right side with the movement of the runner. Keeps him out of the double play. Halpin to second, but 2 gone as Bazana's retired. So it'll be up to Austin Hedges. Cleveland trying to cash in with a runner in scoring position and regain the lead here in the 6th. Carrillo deals wide, and it's 1-0. Hedges singled back in the second. He was called out on strikes in the 4th. Both of those at bats against left-handed starter Cole Drake. And Gerardo Carrillo misses inside for ball 2. Halpin at second. That's going to be challenged. Call is a ball. James McCann will challenge. And it is a ball.
Well, if I'm Austin Hedges here, I've got the green light. You've got a tie game, runner on second base. Just sitting on fastball in the zone.
The 3-0 pitch. And Hedges takes a strike.
Yeah, it looked like he was taken all the way. It was a cutter, but it was well in the zone.
Halpin at second with good speed. The 3-1 pitch coming to Hedges in a 2-2 game. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Excellent sinker.
Yeah, that had great movement down and in. Now he's back getting the counts even. Can go back to that split. Haven't seen many of those right on right sinkers, but that had great movement.
Carrillo versus Hedges in a 2-2 game with 2 out in the 6th. And that's cold. Strike 3. Hedges caught looking. And Carrillo retires the Guardians in the 6th.
The biggest matches, the biggest moments. Fox Nation is the
New pitcher on the hill for the Guardians is Hunter Gaddis in his 43rd appearance of the year. 1-2 record and a 2.78 earned run average.
You know, this guy's an absolute workhorse. Has been for years out of the Cleveland pen. You know about the good velocity, mid-90s and above. But this year, the changeup has really been a great pitch. Really increased the usage on that pitch, and it's been difficult for hitters to pick up.
Geraldo Perdomo, first pitch swinging and a drive to right, and it is gone. And Arizona takes a 3-2 lead in the 7th on a solo home run from Perdomo.
Boy, it looked like he went up there looking, first pitch fastball. Patient hitter, but this time, oh my goodness, he knew it. Middle fastball. I think he just ambushed Gaddis, maybe thinking he's a guy who does like to take pitches. First pitch into the game. That's a wake-up call.
And a 3-2 Diamondbacks lead as Gabriel Moreno looks at ball 1. This Arizona team, they were down late last night, 1-0, came back with 4 in the 8th to get the win. Fell behind 2-0 in the first inning today and now have taken a 3-2 lead in the 7th, looking for their 35th comeback win of the season. Pretty remarkable for a team that, as of the first week in July, was 5.5 games out of any playoff spot. Embarked on a road trip, 10 games through 4 different stops. And now here in Cleveland, they have become very much buyers rather than sellers.
No doubt, best team in the league since July the 9th.
On the ground to Hopper to Ramirez at third. He'll throw across in time for out number 1. Stream every out-of-market MLB game plus MLB Network 24/7. Now available at a new low price, $94.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
And I'm telling you, Perdomo knew something right there. I mean, he did his homework, got the exact pitch he was looking for, and didn't miss it. It's only his 6th career home run on a first pitch, the first this year.
Hey. And a strike to Ketel Marte with 1 out here in the 7th. Evened up 1-1 on Marte.
Thank you.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Marte followed by Arenado here in this Diamondbacks 7th inning. 1-2 pitch, and Marte trying to get out of the way. Did it hit him?
It certainly looked like it, but
It did.
Didn't see the signal.
He's acting like it hit him. He's taking the shin guard off the leg, and still no signal from home plate umpire Ryan Wills to go to first, but it certainly got him on that back foot.
Definitely hit him.
Marte now to first base, 1 out in the 7th. Arenado to the plate.
I was talking to Nolan, who recently got hit number 2,000. Congratulations to him. And I asked him if he kept anything from it. He said, you know what, it's funny you asked that. I did get the baseball. He said, but I was worried because I love the bat, but I only had one other bat with me of the same model. So he kept using the one he got for his 2,000 hit. He wants to keep it.
Right.
And every time he went up with it, he was thinking, don't break the bat, don't break the bat, don't break the bat. Well, he didn't break the bat. The good news, they got him a new shipment of bats, so he's good. And that will go in the trophy case at home, which is getting very crowded. 10-time Gold Glove Award winner.
There are 6 total players now in Major League Baseball history with 350+ home runs, 10+ Gold Gloves, and over 2,000 hits. He is the man you're looking at right there on your screen is one of those 6 players in that extremely elite club. The others are Johnny Bench, Ken Griffey Jr., Al Kaline, Willie Mays, and Mike Schmidt. You talk about there are exclusive clubs, and then there's the company you keep in that club.
That's Inner Circle Hall of Fame, and that's the company he's with. He made a couple of plays last night that reminded me that maybe if he didn't redefine the third base position, he just brought his own style to it. In other words, his footwork is so exceptional. He plays third base like a shortstop. He intentionally moves his feet to throw on the run. He's more accurate throwing a baseball on the run, which is just crazy. And the way he has such small, quick foot movements to get in position to throw on the run, there's no one like him.
Carl Willis will come out. Some struggles for Hunter Gaddis here. The leadoff home run off the bat of Geraldo Perdomo after a ground out off the bat of Moreno, a hit by pitch and a walk, and double-barreled activity in that pen with Tim Herron and Franco Aleman, who has been up before, working with a purpose here in the 7th inning. And we talked about it all night long, Tom. The Guardians' offensive struggles add so much weight to what happens on the mound for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about how it might influence the other manager just to bunt for 1 run to get a lead. And if you're the Guardians manager, like Stephen Vogt, it does affect absolutely how you run a game. Very little room for error. Every run seems enormous. So at 3-2 in the 7th inning, if you're Cleveland, you've got to lock it down right here.
Tim Tawa is 0 for 2 with that sacrifice bunt tonight. First pitch fouled at the plate by Tawa. 0-1. 1 out, 2 on, and a run in here in the 7th.
Yeah, that one got the throwing hand of Austin Hedges. Check this out here. Got him pretty good, too.
Will's doing a really good job behind the plate, taking time, delivering a new baseball, giving Hedges an opportunity to shake off that pain a little bit. The 0-1. Even now, 1-1 to Tawa. And Tawa puts a charge in this to center field. Halpin going back on the run at the track, leaping up, and he makes the catch. What a play by Petey Halpin. Saved at least a run and maybe more as he makes the catch into the wall in center field.
I can't tell you how great this play was. Our Good Hands play, sponsored by Allstate. The first step drop was perfect. He never took his eyes off the ball. I mean, he's going right up against the wall, never looked back to see how safe he was or not. Listen, you can feel the track underneath your spikes, but that's just a fearless, fearless play. What a play.
Marte taking third, tagging and advancing on the play. And so Vargas with 2 out now takes a strike. Trying to add a little insurance to Arizona's 3-2 lead in the 7th. Did he go around? No swing, and it's 1-1. Vargas 0 for 3 tonight, and the 1-1. And Vargas line drive into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Marte scores at a 4-2 lead for Arizona as Vargas delivers his 51st run-driven in of the year.
Well, we've seen it last night. We've seen it actually for the last month. This has become a really good rally team. Just stacking good at-bats atop one another, walks, base hits. We talked about how Gaddis has gone to that changeup a lot more this year. That was not a good one.
And that will chase Gaddis from this ballgame.
Introduce.
And red-hot James McCann at the plate, and that one gets away from Austin Hedges, and the runners will advance to second and third.
I don't know how this happens in PitchCom era, but he crossed up Austin Hedges. Hedges was expecting a slider, and he got fastball. Watch this reaction. He's going to move his glove like it's going to move to his right, and the ball just stayed right over the plate. Man, you can break a thumb that way. I don't know how that happens in the PitchCom era. Every once in a while it does, but that is no fun for a catcher.
And now a base hit. There's a little PitchCom challenge right there. He is challenged to hear the PitchCom. So McCann down a strike with runners at second and third and 2 out. And McCann, a little looper, that is going to drop fair. 2 runs are going to score. McCann delivers on his way to second. The slide and the throw gets away into short left field. It's a 2-run double for James McCann, blooping it down that right field line, and Arizona's got a 6-2 lead.
I mean, just stay hot, Arizona. I mean, this is, I believe he broke the bat here. And it just flared perfectly, barely, maybe even hit chalk inside the line. It did. And actually, they had McCann lined up for the inning out at second base, but the throw hit him. Otherwise, the inning's over. The rally continues.
4-run 7th, a 4-run 8th last night was the deciding blow in the 4-1 Arizona win. And for Cleveland, a team that over the last 9 games has averaged 2.6 runs per game, has to feel like they're down about 100 right now.
Man, you go back to the 5th inning rally. It was 4 straight ground balls, 3 of those singles that produced the run. And this inning, yeah, began with the Perdomo home run. Again, stacking at bats together, hitting the ball to the opposite field, drawing walks, hit by pitch. Any way you can, but the runs are adding up for the D-backs over the last 3 weeks.
Hey, yep,
and another hit by pitch. Waldschmidt gets hit. He'll go to first, and the 9th man to bat in the inning, Corbin Carroll, will come up.
This is a slider that just doesn't come back over the plate. And yeah, he needs to move. Got the protection on the arm. Perfectly legal.
And another wild pitch. This one all the way back to the screen. McCann to third, Waldschmidt to second, and the Bluebirds have arrived in Cleveland.
Yeah, these fans are not used to seeing this kind of baseball. If you're talking close, low-scoring games, sure, that's one thing. But when it starts to get ugly, wild pitches, pass balls, hit by pitches, walks, that is not Guardians baseball.
And a strike over the outside corner to Carroll evens it up 1-1. 2 hit batters, a pass ball, and a wild pitch in the inning.